there are two parts. There's two parts. One is there's two Tosfos, and we had a problem with the reef. One Tosfos says that the migo of sheker is 0, no good. And the other Tosfos talks about the that migo of Yeshiva Amrina. The question is, what happened here? Do we say that Hilchasa removes the fact of a star, that the fact that migo sheker is 0? Well, no, it's also included in the Hilchasa. What it means to say that Hilchasa alone, migo hotzi, lo amrina, that's the Hilchasa. But is a migo good or migo not? A migo that has in it sheker is nothing. Is that included in the Hilchasa? So once you get that clear, then we have already you have then the halacha people, which is the shach, the sma, and the kibei. So if you look at the shach, he brings down also the sma, you have the sma itself, and you have the kibei, which is the halacha is a different world. But if you don't know the Gemara, the two Tosfos,
rice casserole, peas and carrots.
right?
Casserole, yes.
And peas and carrots. Okay. So you have to read the shach inside. The guy is a master, and what he says, and what is his argument? Because we have a different problem that we have Pei Beis, Pei Gimel, and we have Kuf something, which is the din of Aaron, and you have two views in the case of Hamburg. And the Yeshiva is only in one view in Pei Beis, and Yeshiva is not mentioned in Pei Gimel. Second of all, the guy named Shushan, who usually brings down halacha, does not bring down doesn't bring down again the problem of the Yeshiva, which is why not? So it's a little complicated, but we're going to remove that complication by going back to Tosfos. You have two Tosfos again. We're going inside, and you have the Ri. Ri says one thing and one Tosfos, and another thing and another Tosfos. The question is, what happened here? Yeah.
Why in the first Tosfos you only take the first thirds of the Ri? He gave two tirutzim. Why was everyone bringing just the first thirds?
Yeah, that's the problem. And then the shach would say that the first Tosfos is Rabbi Yosef, and now what? Yes.
I'm saying in the first Tosfos,
there's two parts.
He gives two tirutzim. Everyone is on the first thirds of it.
We're talking about what are the tirutzim?
So why not the second one?
I don't know. But that's not what they're involved with. They're involved with that problem. So to make it simplified, you have to get again involved with the two Tosfos, with the Ri, and ask a simple question, which you will ask. What happened though?
I can't get the machine to work.
No,
it says it's something that's this. I don't know how to work.
Yeah, yes, Yosef.
It's a problem.
They didn't bring the paper, so. See, it's very important for you to see the shot. When you see the shot,
Shach in Pei Beis or Pei Gimel?
Pei Beis. Pei Beis and Pei Gimel. When you read the shot, you see a master. You understand why it's halacha people. There's shot people, like Bam and the Ramban and this, that. You have all kinds of people. So the problem is in halacha you have another problem. One place says Yeshua, no, it doesn't mention Yeshua. So the Shach says, forget about the Yeshua. And the Shach says yes. So in order to remove the complications and get the appreciation, and then set up the machlokas of Rishonim and Achronim and the halacha, you have to get it in there. So, at the end of the day, what did Akiva add? The Torah knowledge. And you have to read inside. You don't read inside, you don't get the beauty of the piece. You don't prepare, you don't have the beauty of the piece. And his work. So that work has to be done. I want to give out the sheets. Now it doesn't work in the machines here. Okay. And the machine is good as the machine is. Human being is not a machine. He has the ability to yes, no, but okay. So, yes.
What's the point of the Shach's problem? What is the Shach's problem with the blood?
So, the problem is in the halacha world. The halacha world, you have a problem. You have one Beis Yosef that brings down and brings a Ramah, and Ramah has two opinions. Opinion A and opinion B. Migla Hotzi Lo Aminon, and Yeshua and Migla Hotzi Aminon in certain cases. Now, what happens there? And then you have in Pei Gimel, they don't mention the Yeshua does not apply. Why not? And he's talking now in terms of karka, yeah, which he passed like Bravo, yeah. We're gonna come out with what? That we're gonna use the migo, according to Hilchasah, we're gonna use the migo for what? To make the lokea be the mugro. I mean, knock out the morikama.
That's the migo lozi.
Lozi. But you'll say no, not migo lozi. Let me discuss. Because we said Tvisa is something. We brought down the Tzos, which says what? This is Anhoga, which is a Shimon Shkov. But this is Anhoga and this is a Tvisa, right? But that is a problem because the Kuntus Aspectus, Moshe, Kuntus Aspectus doesn't hold from the Tzos. Okay, it gets a little complicated, but you gotta pull out of the problem in order to see the beauty of the piece. And I pick out the people, and what happens here?
It's working.
It's working, okay. And I look at people and the Pshat people. But in the Pshat world, we also have the problem. The Pshat world is the two Tosfos, which will be the basis of the Shach and the Sman. And there, once you get that, then you're able to be easier to understand the halacha people of the Shulchan Aruch. Well, Shulchan Aruch bases on the Constitution, which is Tosfos, and the Rashbam. You open a Rashbam, yeah. Over the different shittas, yes.
What's the story of migo lozi on a minute? Why wouldn't it be a migo? It's a good migo. Why not? What if it's lozi?
That's a good question. You have to even answer yourself. Migo lahotzi, lo amina. Which is stronger to you? Because normally the lahotzi, al pishne einim, yochim davar. So how do you get over here, amigo, which is not 2 einim, or not even 1 aid, is going to pull out?
It's like a star.
What's it? A star is 2 einim, remember. If you star makuya, it's a different world. Second easy. Here we have a suffix. Suffix of what? Of the whole story here. Because you don't know what the case is. You have case. What are the cases they're talking about? Okay? If you say the case is he has a star, a good star, so we hold me to the whole see. I mean, even according to Rabbi. You're going to have Rabbi all the word. So you can't be fooled by words. You have to see the picture of the case and the law and what's happening. So in order to do the story clearer, we go on to Tosfos. We get the problem in two Tosfoses, and then we're going to move into the Halacha people, which they work on the Ramor, in the case in the Ramor, pay Beis and pay Gimel. That's it. And then later on Karkar, what's happening here? And what is the basic kasha? Okay? That is, everybody has to answer. So they answer that the first Tosos of Migo of a shekel is no good, that's Rabbi Yosef. But who says that's the ending, that's the halacha? Maybe that's this Hilchah says a different svara. What does the Tosos say? Hilchah says. Okay, one second. What I have here is Rabbi Sackman did a bit to discuss this for me. He has here the cases. He had Kiveg, and then he brings down pay Gimel, pay Beis, brings the Shah, and he brings the Sma. And you gotta read it inside. So, the way to approach the subject, to make it simplified, is you gotta read it through Tosfos, see the through time. And ask the question, in the second Tosfos Hilchah, what happened with the first time? Did it disappear or didn't disappear? Which is a factual question. And what does that mean? When you get that straight, you're able to then go to the halacha and you get your setup, and you explain your setup. Right, otherwise, you can't get out of the problem. You get stuck into the problem. So I'm going to give out those sheets, and on reading it on Monday, you'll be getting more prepared. And we have to read it inside, underline the key phrases, key what it is, and in order to solve the problem. In the Musar word today, because I don't have much time, I'm giving out the Gom, very important Gom, yeah, about that Chochmah is human, here is Chochmah. How do we translate that? How do we get you? Because the main thing in when you have Kehelis, what does Kehelis say? Sov Dov HaKol Nishma. So Gordon here has a big fish. What's Chol Adam? Read Shamayim. I want to give out that text, please. And you look at it, I want to talk about it. This is a key piece. And I want to give out the other piece of the give me that, please. You don't have a copy. How many do you make of it?
The bunch of guys have, I think it's about 15.
What?
I have more if you need one.
Okay, we'll give it out. And then give out this, please. Okay. Give me one copy. Give it out. Give it out to the boys. And this is a very important piece because if I ask you a different question, you hold up. Avram Avinu did chesed, right? And at the end of the day, they call it Yirat Shamayim, right? What happened to his chesed? When is he Yirat Shamayim in his chesed? You know why you have Yirat Shamayim? It's because you're going to teach your children the Torah. They'll follow your ways. Therefore you know that he's Yirat Shamayim. When does that fit into the picture? I'm going to read to you next.
What's the question that Hashem is now focusing on the chesed? He did also chesed, and that now in this pasuk is also in the direction.
No. Because the text of Kehelah. What does Kehelah say? What does Kehelah say? So davar hakol nishma. Es Elokim kiro ki zeh kol adam. Now if I ask you, what is an Adam? Yehuda? What's Kol Adam? Yirat Shamayim. Kol Adam. What happened to Torah? What happened to Tziyon? What happened to Chesed?
Who explains this in Yirat Shamayim?
What?
Who explains it in Yirat Shamayim?
What? The Goyen. I want to share the Goyen. But someone bring you the Goyen. And he adds another piece here. He's Machadish refusing. He holds in number Dalet, in Ein Yira, Ein Chochma, Ein Chochma, Ein Yira. Which one is first? That's right. Reish is Chochma Yas Hashem. Right? When you're a kid, Modan Yira Ponecha, right? So in that Dalet, he explains a Chiddush Nitlu Al-Mod. This is a big Chiddush that you have to hear. Haschol HaChochma Yira. K'mo shekosu ben Avos, im ein Yira ein Chochma, im ein Chochma ein Yira, Bikshu Eis Ben Koden. Ki Makshova HaTachlis Chilo. HaKach Chochma Ek Lazot, Vayira Hi HaTachlis. Okay? V'achshev HaYira Chilo, im ein Yira ein Chochma. V'maisa HaChochma Chilo, v'zeh ein Chochma ein Yira. That's a very big Chiddush. It's worthwhile. And who says all this? The Goyen in Mishnah. I want to explain that, and this should change your life. Because basically, if we're going to bring down the in Hey, Kes, straight to Akol Yishma, let's look at Hey. Omer Rab Chalbo, Kolim Sheish Bo Yirat Shamayim, Dvarim Nishmoyim. Shenemar, straight to Akol Yishma. Hayira Shamayim Hu Tzreif Shel Kol Dova. Okay? Nishmoyim Shu Hu HaPush HaAchron Me'adal Fushim Ki Zeh Kol Adam Piresh Ki Geder Adam Hu Adibol. Okay, which is going to be Torah and Tziyon. But you see there, the Kol Adam is Yira. Which part? Brings in the word Dibor, okay, Nishman, but basically speaking, you have to have Yira. Now, in Yira, what is the pula that you have? She brings down in test what's Darkei Yira. Yosef, V'Mizrachov, the Torah, Aviz Hashem B'Liboy, V'Odaradeu. He brings down naturally the pasuk in Ekev. V'atoy Zom Hashem Shuel B'Chor Ki M'Yiro Es Hashem. Im Avachta B'Chol D'Rocha V'Avoy Yisrael V'Avoy So Yira. So the focus of the subject is Yira. How do you get Yira? And how does it work? And that's what we're going to talk about today. A very important piece. What's the answer? In every pulo, you have a tachlis. In the tachlis, it starts with machshava. So the first thing is what? Machshava of Yira. So if you come to me, you're looking for a shidduch, and I say to you, listen, from 0 to 10, how's your Yira? Explain me your Yira.
Minus 10.
0 to 10, tell me Yira. Where's your Yira?
What's Yira?
Oh, that's a good point. But whatever it is, X. You have that X.
Ten.
But if you don't know what it is, sure you don't have it.
Maybe you have it, just know that you have it.
No. If it's machshava, you have to know about it. Not true. No, it is not true. No. And he gives you all the derachim of Yira. I mean, all this a derach of Yira, that means carefully that in these 5 things, your tachas is Yira.
Yeah, but it brings number 1 is the Yira. So how do you have the Yira?
Yeah, you
Yira.
see, it's 2 years. Everybody knows that 2 years. There's other pieces here further we didn't print out. We said we didn't print out those. You got to print. Yira is 2 types. Actually, fear God, or what the Roman was. Right? So, but in everyone, you have to have machshava of Yira. And if you have Ava and Yira, you can't have Ava without Yira. Who says that, Rabbi? Yeah. Going to say that, everybody says that.
It says,
what?
No, it says in the 5th, it says no say here.
What does it say?
It always down, it always say.
Yira is holiness, maybe the Chokhmah.
Chokhmah, Yira is holiness.
Okay, Yira is holiness. Right,
That's the
okay,
first
good.
seal and the
Right, okay. Hey. Very good. So if I'm starting off with my goal, last time we talked about Hashem Melech, Shiur Hashem. That was the basic of Rosh Hashanah. So Rosh Hashanah, that's the story. Now, in that point of Makabal Omal Shamayim, God's the boss, there's a quality called Yirat Hashem. Zek Kol Odom. Probably, by example, that's not important. Yirat Hashem. So you have to focus on everything you do in your machshava has to be what? The goal is Yirat Hashem. So now, in every act you do, what do you have to think of?
Yirat Hashem.
Yirat Hashem. Now, you can't think of 2 things. If you're learning Gemara or saying Simon or Targum, I'm Yirat Shamayim, I won't think of the words. I think of this, I think of that. So we're going to have Yirat Hashem as a propensity. Propensity means that you have a goal, it's there, hidden away in the background, not in the foreground. But the background is Yirat Shamayim. And you always have to ask yourself, in the background, is it Yirat Shamayim or not? Yes.
For an example, when I put on tefillin,
What?
when I put on tefillin or do a mitzvah,
Yeah.
would this cause me to have Yirat Shamayim, or because I have Yirat Shamayim, I'm doing this mitzvah?
That's a good question. Now, that's a good question. I'll tell you, I'm going to retranslate your words. If Lishma means learning MS Lamitu because it's MS, so where is the Yirat Shamayim in that? Okay? Again, if I do MS Lishma, which means because it's MS, I want to know, so where's the Yirat Shamayim? Okay? Okay? The same you're doing your mitzvah. Now I answered you, Yirat Shamayim is a propensity. Write the word down. Propensity. Propensity means that you have it, it's a background, not a foreground. Background means it's there, but it's not thinking right now. It's there, but not thinking now. Like a person does something, thinks of himself, how to help himself, or what good is it, he has tachlis. Okay? It's there at the tachlis, but it's not in the foreground where the tachlis is talked about. Okay? Yeah.
That's when you're involved in Chokhmah or even Ma'aseh, it's in the background.
Even everything.
In the
The
Ma'aseh.
Chokhmah is, Yirat is Chokhmah. We're going to get involved a little bit. It's very important, this thing. The greater here is, the Kiddush is what? That it's in Machshava. It's a tachlis. So every pool has a tachlis. The question is in the foreground and background. Is it thinking of that right now? Or is it there that I test it out? When I have a mitzvah, so I do a thing called a mitzvah. A mitzvah has two parts. A chalosh, a maisa, or a kavanah. Okay? So we told you this, we've discussed it many times. A chalosh means it has to be a definite thing. It's a maisa. It's chalosh, it's chal on something definite. And a kavanah is, even on the subject, you'll go what you're thinking about. And that can fluctuate. Okay? So you have different types of mitzvahs, different kavanahs. Everything is explained. Okay? With different behemoths. But in all what you're doing, you have to have what? You have to accept God, Kabbalah Hashem. You have to, Him alone, Bo'acher. And you have to have Yirat Hashem before Avos Hashem. Well, Avos Hashem could change from a Mezid to a Sukhuyot. And you don't have Avos Hashem, it remains Mezid, not Sukhuyot. But the essence has to be Yirat Shamayim. And Yirat Shamayim is a tachlis in what you're doing. So when we have on Friday night, what do we say? Machshava Tchilu. One second.
That's a purpose.
1 second. Let me.
And it has to be the back.
1 second. One second.
What?
1 second.
Yeah.
So Maaseh, Machshava Tchilu. So Machshava is before the Maaseh. So now you have a mitzvah. You have to think your tachlis right away. What's your tachlis? Your Shamayim. And then the answer to Moshe is what?
Shabbos before the Maisa.
Before the Maisa.
If the mitzvah is two parts, the Maisa and the Kavanah, so Yirat should be part of the Ikar pool of the Maisa. That's
Yeah, but
in
you
the
can't
back.
have a pool of a Maisa without Machshava. Then you don't have your Bechira. What are you doing?
Listen, but
Unless the Maisa is a Mesuba.
so the Ikar is the Yirat.
Listen, and then we're not involved with any a coach can do it, an animal can do it. But you got the mitzvah because the result was there. But even there, yeah, well, yes, we answer the word shlemus. You have the shlemus hadover. What are you going to get out of it at the end? In other words, we have mitzvahs. Then you Shiur, you get the schar in this world, not the next. You get the count in the next world. You have different bechinas, whatever it may be. Okay. So now we're back into the story. So we get the goyim, which I wanted, was very important for me today, to tell you the goyim that Yirat is a tachlis in Machshava.
And this also,
Wow! Kiddush niplo ad ma'od.
this is soft dog.
What?
And this is soft
They
dog.
soft over as kol adam.
That's the time.
Now in the Bechina kol adam you have Dibur, which is Torah, which is Tefillah, which is that. But already a Kiddush niplo ad ma'od. So I ask you, what are you going to work on now until Rosh Hashanah and the Yom Hadin that they're going to check you out who you are? Kabbalah Hashem, essentially. Hashem is the Melech and nobody else. Oh, ain't no father, he's alone. And what's the matter, Abraham?
Just check.
Okay. And the next step is what? Your tachlis, your shamayim. That's two types.
But Yirat Shamayim is not something we can ask. It's always what Rabbi said. In any action,
Every action called Adam, you have to have that there. So in your learning, I ask you at the end of the day, you're learning to be a Talmud Chacham, no Shas and Poskim. Good. What for? Is it your shamayim in you, or is it a game? They'll love me, I'll make a living, I'll know a lot, I'll have power. What is it? So So you start working on yourself. Okay? Or anything you do, that has to be in the background, which is in your machshava first, right? When you get up in the morning, where should you be? Yes, Moshe.
Let's say I'm learning Torah because I want to have Yirat Shamayim. Is that Lishma?
If you think deeper in it, yes. And you talk about your anchored feeling, I want to use the word anchored. And the anchored feeling, yes, because it's background. That's part of you. That's the essence of man. The essence of man, which is an anchored feeling. Yesterday I gave an example, an interesting story. You will listen to the story. It was an anti-Semite. It's famous, everybody knows the story, but I like to tell it all over again. It was an anti-Semite, a goy, a priest. He hated the Jews. Esav Sona Yaakov. What's it? And he was a Catholic priest. And he did an affair with a woman. And he had a baby. Now, how can the priest announce he's a baby? He has a baby. He's not going to get married. So, he makes a story, tells the wife to bring the Jew downstairs that it came from him, and they'll punish the Jew. So the Jew didn't know what to do. How can I prove it is or isn't? They didn't have a DNA and all that stuff. So what are you going to do? So he went to one of the rabbis. Or Sameach. So Sameach says, go to the mishpat and say, yes, it's my child, but also announce that it's my child, I want to take care of him. Okay? She goes to court, and they says, who's your child? Yes, 100%. I did this nurse. That's my baby, and I want to raise him up. So the priest got excited. His B'nai HaKadosh will become a Jew. That's for shalom. Since he's an anchored feeling, he hates the Jews. Esav Sona Yaakov. What does he do? He has to say that in his priesthood he went against. He didn't follow the priesthood of not being married. So he has to admit that what? That's his baby. Because Chas v'Sholom, his holy kid, should become a Jew. He hates Jews. So you had to announce it. That's called anchored feeling. Down deep, there's a thing called anchored feelings. Anchored feeling. What's an anchor? You have a ship. It weighs hundreds of tons, and you put a rope or a chain, and the bottom has a little metal. It's called anchoring the boat. And when the waves come, it goes this way, that way, to hold the boat. Somehow, in physics, it holds the thing. Even there's a little thing, it holds the boat. There are certain needles that you have that you were a kid remain with you. It's called anchored. And therefore,